The Ultimate Red Dead Redemption 2 Guide to Gritty Fish Meat and Potent Predator Bait. There is a lot of misunderstanding about gritty fish meat out there, and I wanted to set the record straight on how to obtain massive amounts quickly from several different fish in a few choice locations. This guide will make catching big fish or legendary big fish as easy as catching a bluegill. Essential takeaways. Question: can I break down channel catfish and long-nosed gar? Answer: yes, you can cook the first portion of the fish and obtain 3 gritty fish meat per fish. Question: are big fish worth catching since you can only bring one at a time to butcher or trapper? Answer: big fish can be caught in massive numbers like small fish and go into your inventory, so you can sell stacks of 99 to butcher or trapper. Not only will you obtain 3 gritty fish meat from long-nosed gars and channel catfish, you get to keep the big fish to sell, but the entire perfect carcass will remain in your inventory, so you can then go and sell the fish to butcher or trapper. You will essentially get 3 gritty fish meat, eat or stow 1 gritty fish, and get to keep the original fish as if you never cooked it or broke it down. Works with any big fish. Question: can I carry more than 99 gritty fish meat? Answer: yes, you can carry more than 99 gritty fish meat, as well as have 99 bluegill and bullhead catfish each, so that you can quickly combine with berries to stock up on gritty fish meat while on the road via crafting menu. Question: is potent predator bait worth it? Answer: absolutely. You can put some down at the channel catfish campsite and see for yourself. If you were to do this, and you were cooking or sitting in tent, eventually you would be given a brief warning of a predator, which will give you more than enough time to utilize Deadeye and kill a perfect Florida panther. Same goes for grizzly bears and cougars in other locations. Wolves too, so be ready for a pack of 3 or 4 when putting potent predator bait down when camping far north. Question: should I shoot fish that swim near the shore for this as well? Answer: avoid doing this, as it will result in 1-star fish and you will not obtain gritty fish meat when doing the one cook. Bluegill is not the only fish that can be broken down to create gritty fish meat. This guide will help you get on path to having enough of the stuff to craft enough potent predator bait to make a line all the way from Willard's Crest to Gaptooth Breach. When placing potent predator bait at campsites, you can listen for predator noises and your horses freaking out, then utilize photo mode to use the camera like a drone in order to see what is happening outside your campsite. Hunting dangerous animals is extremely fun this way. I wish I had thought of it during my initial playthrough. To use the photo mode camera as a drone. While sitting in your tent, enter photo mode. Navigate the camera outside of the tent. Once your camera is viewing outside your tent, press select on controller. When you do this, your camera can travel a decent range freely. Now you can adjust pitch and height of camera to get overhead view around the camp. The game is essentially paused at this point, but you can gather intelligence via the camp drone to see your target, even bounty hunters. Now let's dive into it. Small fish, bluegill, and bullhead catfish overview. Bluegill and bullhead catfish can be found in abundance in this fishing spot. Having a camp isn't as necessary as without bigger gritty fish meat sources, but by the time you are done with this guide, you will probably be fishing for big and small fish here. The beauty of this spot compared to most other areas I have tried is that there are 3 types of small fish that strike at cheese bait here: bluegill, bullhead catfish, and pickerel. Assuming each type of fish strikes about the same, this means 2/3 of the time you are going to be getting the fish you need. But let's be glad our assumptions are wrong, because the strike percentage out of more than 800 strikes in this area indicate that pickerel only stuck the line 12% of the time. This could be because I utilized tracking vision when casting usually. However, to briefly test it again, I cast my line out 40 times blindly and only had 5 pickerels strike my bait. There are various areas around the map that contain clusters of any given fish. Here are some examples of clusters and what they look like. I'll shut up for a moment. After looking at other spots, this spot, which we are going to elaborate on further as we get into big fish, is the greatest fishing spot in the game for what I value. There are few clusters of pickerel and more numerous clusters of bluegill and bullhead catfish. You only have the risk of one unwanted fish type striking your bait. Catching small fish is also an easy way to erase your bad behavior. Imagine how great life would be if you could murder people and catch the exact number of fish shown in this illustration to redeem yourself. Actually, that would not be a good world to live in, but I've done the math, and that is the amount of fish releases that will erase your sins. I will provide illustrations with fishing locations along with camp locations as this guide progresses. Let us take a look at the big fish that give us multiple gritty fish meat. Long-nosed gar and channel catfish are quick catches and will yield you 3 gritty fish meat each. The Catfish and Bluegill Bullhead camp is labeled fishing spot on the map. Again, you won't need to stow fish on horses when at this camp. I usually toss them on the shore until I have 3, then I pick them up and press cook. Channel catfish location. Catfish is my favorite big fish for this because they are the only one who bites the lure, and you don't have to worry about catching large mouth bases in conjunction with your target fish. I'll shut up for a moment. Long-nosed gar location. Horses work well for gar in the gar fishing camp. I'll shut up for a moment. Now let's get to the best way to get massive quantities of gritty fish meat in fastest amount of time. It is essential to know how to prepare for efficient and fast big fish gritty fish meat harvesting. When you catch a big fish, put it on your horse, then repeat. Eventually you and your horses will all be carrying a big fish. See how I have stacked my catfish in order to be able to quickly cook. When fishing for channel catfish, no horses are required for quick cooks because of the close campsite placement. The longest part of your gritty fish making process will be picking the berries needed to craft it, and these are in abundance. Preparation for gritty fish meat from large fish. The next step is to cook the fish, so walk to your camp you already set up. If you have 2 more to cook, pull them off the horse and repeat the previous steps. When you cook, it will auto-cook, but cancel after this is done. Then look at the crafting menu at your campsite and verify that you have been given 3 gritty fish meat. If you see 3 fish added, then leave the crafting menu and just walk away so you exit your camp. Let's look at the process. Cook the one in your hand by walking near your camp and selecting cook. You can eat or stow the auto-cooked first fish when initiating this process. Cook only one, then cancel the process. You will simply walk away to do this. Now pay attention to this next illustration. To break down these fish into gritty fish meat, open up your satchel and go to materials to find them. You will be given the option to break them down. This is obvious, however, I must stop assuming everyone has a certain level of experience with fishing when making this guide, as I wanted to make a guide that would have helped me when I was unfamiliar. Even after having 99 gritty fish meat from the big fish, I still found myself fishing here until I had 99 bluegill and 99 catfish bullhead so that I could just break them down when needed, essentially needing only to obtain more berries. But make sure not to just exit camp or cancel out and walk away without going to the crafting menu that shows potent predator bait. If you just eat the one that auto-cooks and then close crafting and walk away from campsite, you will not receive the gritty fish meat. This happened to me in the beginning, so please make it a part of your process to ensure you get a total of 9 gritty fish meat every time you catch 3 big fish. This sounds like a lot of work, however it was almost twice as quick in getting 99 gritty fish meat than when I caught 99 bluegill and bullhead catfish. Long-nosed gar are quicker to reel in, but the occasional bass ultimately makes catfish the winner of the two when it comes to catching the 3 you need for your cook. You will be surprised how quickly this process plays out. Go to the fire and cook your fish each time. Simply walk out of the fire position to either grab another fish from horse, leave the crafting menu, or go to the shore to catch more. Verify you got them in the crafting section for potent predator bait. Let's take a look at the process one more time. Cook the one in your hands by just walking into or near your camp and selecting cook. Then grab another from your horse or on the shore if you are fishing for catfish. Remember, cook only one when you initiate the cook. Do not select cook another. Just walk away. If you take down campsite via prompts, this strategy will not work. Let's do the math. Your big fish equals 4 gritty fish meat, but you will have to cook one of them during the process. I remember having to stow on the back of my horse when fishing for big fish to sell at market or mail to the fish collector. You still will if your big fish of choice is gar, which will show up under the area where you can craft potent predator bait. After it is done auto-cooking the first one, you must check it. You won't receive it. Make sure you are seeing 3 additional gritty fish in your inventory each time to make sure you are doing it correctly. After verifying you got 3 gritty fish meat, leave the crafting menu like shown. Do not pack up your camp. It's an easy mistake to make, and trust me, I've done it a lot, so that's why I am emphasizing this. How to set up fishing pole for easy big fish catching. I used to never be able to catch big fish and legendary. Forget about it. I put it off until one day I was bored and found something that made it easy for me. If you already know how to catch big fish and legendary fish, just ignore this next part. I had to search around after being frustrated, so I want to quickly illustrate what I did to make it so I never snapped a line again. You can change control configuration in the settings. Here I will illustrate how I set mine up. 1. Change your controller setup for the reel function. 2. When the fish is jumping around, just take your hand off the X button. 3. When you hold the reel button and it's not jumping around, push down on the left stick, then up, down, then up, like down, up, and get it in a rhythm. I don't always change the reel button, but when farming this it is easy, so it's been that way on mine for quite some time. Follow those steps and you will easily take in these big fish in as long as it takes for you to reel in a bluegill. Like down 1000, up to 1000, and get it in a rhythm. The big thing is that the game tells you to pull down on the pole, when it should mention something about the hole up part.
You, sir, are a fish. What are you, a catfish? You, sir, are a fish. What are you, a catfish? Now we're fishing. Line's gone. Whoa, okay. Catfish of some kind. That's set. All right. That is a fish.
Using the auto reel control setup I discussed a moment ago, in conjunction with the correct bait and steps outlined in each fishing overview, will amount to quick catches. By following the steps we've outlined, will amount to 9 gritty fish quickly, as well as the actual giant raw fish that magically stores in your inventory. So why are potent predator bait so important to me? Lure animals like Florida panthers and grizzly bears to your campsite with a warning system to give you a heads up when they are close. Before you play that game of dominoes, place some potent predator bait for interesting atmosphere. Sneak up on NPCs who are camping and place liberal amounts within their vicinity. Get a small or decent bounty and get up high, placing bait in your corpse field, tying the last person of every group up so you can watch animals circle around them. Jump into moving carriages where NPCs will let you sit in back for the ride, placing bait in the wagon for animals to smell. Place bait in trains to lure animals aboard for some kind of purpose. I keep finding new and interesting uses every day. Be sure to check out my Red Dead Redemption 2 film, Bertram and Cave Hermit vs. Earth, which took me over 2,600 hours to make over a 3-month time span. Gritty fish meat and potent predator bait by extension are a big part of this masterpiece film. It's quite long at 1 hour and 44 minutes, so if you don't have the time, just check out the beginning of the second act, which involves a cougar who is attracted by potent predator bait. The chapter following the cougar massacre involves potent predator bait and grizzly bears as well. Definitely worth taking a look at, especially if you want to learn how to have maximum fun with potent predator bait. Who knows? You might even get an idea that puts my imagination to shame. If you do, I want to hear about it.